In purely performance terms, Barbara was almost from the inception of her career not only an exceptional singer but a different kind of singer. She acted her songs so that it seemed as if she were speaking the lyrics from her innermost self and creating an intimacy that few singers ever had. She fitted each song to herself through inflection and pronunciation, and she is one of the most influential vocalists. She influenced artists from Mariah to Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Adele, Beyoncé and many more. But her singing, as important as it is, may actually have less of what made Streisand arguably the most revolutionary of performers. The most important may have been that she changed the very prerequisites for stardom. The four Streisand female entertainers were first and foremost functions of their looks and in the movies cognates to the men against whom they played. But not Barbara. For one thing, she was not conventionally beautiful enough to be considered ornamental. When she started out, the constant refrain she heard was that she was too ugly to be a star and that for starters she would have to get a nose job. To her everlasting credit, Streisand batted away the insults and refused the nose job. Instead, what other female stars were compelled to do with beauty, Streisand did with personality and talent, and in so doing she blazed a trail for other women who also didn't conform to the typical male-defined aesthetics. She made it safe for a woman to be indecorous, though in the process she also helped redefine not just what was acceptable but also what was beautiful. Streisand introduced an entirely new aesthetic of attractiveness, and we are all the better for it. That alone would constitute a revolution. But at the same time, she redefined our traditional relationship to the performers we adore. She didn't look like a typical movie star. She looked like us, talked like us, acted like us and suffered like us. And in doing so she paved another path for both male and female stars. Not even 21, she struck a deal with Columbia Records to take less money in exchange for full creative control. Eventually, Streisand began directing her films as well, which prompted detractors to rail that she was an egomaniac, a diva and a bitch, though what many of them were really saying was that a woman shouldn't have had the temerity to invade a male bastion. By shaking off the attacks while directing creditable films like Yentl and The Prince of Tides, Streisand effectively stared down her own industry when no other woman could. Of course, the real revolutionary stars not only changed their art or their industry, they also changed their culture. Streisand did that too. She fortified feminism. She became the standard bearer of the marginalized, women, gays and various minorities, and gave them a hero and a voice. She prioritized inner beauty over outer beauty. She demonstrated that power and femininity were not mutually exclusive. And no doubt she helped every little girl who had ever been told she wasn't attractive enough or good enough. Both in Hollywood and the music industry, Barbra Streisand would face intense criticism for having the audacity to call the shots, but she had a pat response for every barbed comment: her success. With the release of the romantic feature The Way We Were, Streisand had a #1 soundtrack album, a #1 vocal album, a box office success and an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. At a time when not many women had much creative control in Hollywood, she started her own production company, directed 3 feature films and is now part of the coveted EGOT Club, having won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and a Tony Award. Streisand did all those things. But none of them would have been possible if she hadn't redefined entertainment first. It is a different industry than it was when she first came on the scene more than 50 years ago. Since her breakout in the 1960s, she's been able to convince the world around her to listen, not by chasing trends but by remaining always and fully herself. No one can deny that Barbara has one of the most remarkable voices in music history. I mean, she is a star-rated vocalist. What led the way to success was a determination of epic proportions, as well as an utter resolve for perfection and a self-fulfilling prophecy of aspirations. She has sold over 180 million records in pure sales, and she has 11 #1 albums, more than any female singer. She and a few female artists of that era made it possible. It is in no small measure because Streisand, through the force of her personality and the enormity of her talent, helped make it so. And on this channel we celebrate music and film royalty. This time, the mother of divas, legendary, Barbra Streisand.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, follow me on my Instagram account and support our channel by becoming a patron on Patreon, and with a bunch of rewards help us creating together a great content with your favorite artists. Bye!